I want to share with you finally one quick story of a contemporary Sheikh. His name is Sheikh Saeed al-Zayyani. He is a Moroccan caller to the religion of Allah who passed away in his mid-40s, I think it was, due to a tragic car accident that happened to him in the Middle East. But he has an amazing story about how he found his way back to Allah and his search for happiness. And I wanted to conclude with this story because it really pairs up nicely with the very first story I shared with you, the story of Christina. It's like the mirror reflection of her story, but it ends in a positive way. He found a good life. And he says that I was a young man raised by practicing Muslim parents in Morocco, but like the majority of the youth of my era, I only had two objectives in life. I wanted fame, I wanted money. In essence, I just wanted to be happy. Where do I start? He said, I joined our local radio station in Morocco, and I quickly began to work my way up. I had shows between shows, and I was presenting the news, and eventually I worked my way up, and I was now leading on my own shows. Then eventually there was an opening in TV, in media, and I managed to become now a household name. And I was presenting the news, I was delivering late night shows as well. Everybody was speaking about Saeed al-Zayyani in Morocco. But he said, despite the fame and the money that was coming in, I still felt wretched, worthless, pathetic. And the state of inner tightness was getting worse and worse. Where do I find happiness? And then he said, as he narrates his own story, I was what Allah said in the Quran when He said, فَمَنْ يُرِدِ اللَّهُ أَنْ يَهْدِيَهُ يَشْرَحْ صَدْرَهُ لِلْإِسْلَامِ. Whenever Allah wants to guide a person, He opens up his heart to Islam. وَمَنْ يُرِدْ أَنْ يُضِلَّهُ يَجْعَلْ صَدْرَهُ ضَيِّقًا حَرَجًا كَأَنَّمَا يَصَعَّدُ فِي السَّمَاءِ. But when Allah wants to misguide someone, He makes his heart tight and constricted as if he is climbing into the sky. He said, I was that person. He said, I thought to myself, happiness is not here. Happiness is in the music industry. So he said, by virtue of my access to TV, I was able one day to drop in a quick tune during one of the shows, and instantly they recognized that this guy has a voice. And I came into the music industry. And all of the radios, all of the TVs, now around the Arab world, they were listening to Saeed al-Zayyani singing. I still felt wretched. I said, no, what am I thinking? Happiness is not here. Happiness is being an actor. So I became an actor. And the doors opened up for me very quickly. And I would only take the hero of any film, the top positions. And my films became instant hits all around the world at this point. He said, now I was driving the finest cars, wearing the most expensive clothes. My friends were the princes of the Middle East. And I would go and visit them in their palaces, and the gates would open up as if I owned that palace. But he said how low, tight, and pathetic my heart felt. I didn't know what to do. He said, I decided to tour the world. A world tour. Show them who Saeed al-Zayyani is. Maybe this will relieve from my sense of inner rot that I am feeling. And he said, I had a brother in Belgium who was older than me, a lot more practicing. He'd migrated to Belgium. I thought maybe I'd visit him on the way for 1 or 2 days if I find time. And I began the tour, and I arrived at Belgium to visit my brother for what was supposed to be 24 hours, 48 hours visit. He said, I was surprised to see his face radiating with light. And he was content, and I came into his house, simple home, him and his wife, so happy, so pleased. And I sat with them and I ate with them. And then he showed me around the area, the Muslim community in Belgium. We sat in the masjid, their halaqat and their circles. And he said, I was feeling something going through my veins that I had never felt before. I realized that was happiness. I was content. And he said, I began to feel the verse from the Quran. He quotes, مَنْ عَمِلَ صَالِحًا مِنْ ذَكَرٍ أَوْ أُنْثَى. Whoever works good deeds, whether male or female, whilst having iman, we will give them the good life. And he quotes, وَمَنْ أَعْرَضَ عَنْ ذِكْرِي فَإِنَّ لَهُ مَعِيشَةً ضَنْكَ. Allah said, whoever turns away from my remembrance will give them a miserable life. and we will resurrect them blind on the day of judgment. He said, I felt that. I felt that. And he said, prior to this, I had an interview before I flew out. And the interviewer said to me, isn't it such an amazing coincidence? Mr. Saeed, your name is Saeed, which means what? Which means what, brothers? Huh? Happy. They said, isn't it a coincidence that you have a name that is parallel to your life? You must be a happy man. He said, my brother, what you and others may think about me is actually not true at all. I am far from happy. And my name, he said, my name has 4 letters. Seen, Ain, Ya, Dal, Saeed. He said, as it stands, however, only 3 letters of my name apply to me. The first 3 letters. Seen and Ain and Ya, Sa'i. What does that mean? Pursuit. Chase. He said, I'm a man of pursuit and chase. I can't find happiness. But when I find the 4th letter of my name, the Dal, and I become happy, trust me, I'll let you know. He said, the days and the years and the months passed by. And my visit to Belgium was only supposed to be for 48 or so hours. I spent 2 years with my brother, growing. I found happiness. I stayed with the brothers. I learned the religion, and I came to realize that happiness was not in money, not in fame, not in women, not in wealth. Happiness was only found with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and calling towards His path. See, the project that is bigger than yourself. He said, then I took out a paper and pen after I had joined the international lecture circuit. We used to benefit from him as kids a lot. His public lectures were amazing. He took out a paper and pen and he wrote, Dear Editor-in-Chief of newspaper such and such, my name is Saeed al-Zayani. You interviewed me on place such and such, on day such and such. And you asked me if I was happy, and I told you only the first 3 letters of my name apply to me, but when I find the 4th, I will let you know. And you will be happy to know that I have found the letter Dal. I have found the 4th letter of my name. I am now Saeed. I am now happy. And I found that 4th letter in the worship of Allah and righteousness and calling to His path.